On most Mondays, maybe even all of them, I'm not sure at this point, I try to bring a Jeff Ford dose of reality to the overreactions, the natural overreactions, the expected overreactions from the weekend. So this is what I like to say is overreactions versus reality. Overreaction. Your Texas Longhorns, who were lucky to beat Houston. Turns out they didn't play in the Astrodome after all. I was shocked by that. But they were lucky to beat Houston in a one-score game. Overreaction. They have ruined their Final Four spot. A lucky win against Houston, and it was, has ruined their Final Four spot. Reality. No, nothing has changed. Texas is still hovering around, waiting for an Oklahoma loss. That almost happened on Saturday. Waiting for a Washington loss. That almost happened on Saturday. Or a Florida State loss. Yes, Texas was lucky to beat Houston. It was a win at home, basically, for Texas. Probably more Texas fans there than Houston fans, as usual. But a win at home might have saved Dana Holgerson's job. He's the head coach at Houston, and not a very good one. Had they hung on, or had they been luckier, had they been given the right spot on a fourth or a third and a couple yards instead of turned out to be fourth and inches, it might have saved his job. But an idiotic... Has anyone noticed that every single week, I'm lost in the football world now. It's a game I don't really even understand anymore, and I grew up around the game, and I thought I knew it pretty well. But this world of these idiotic fourth down calls, I just am reaching the point that I can't watch. But in another example, in another game, because any Saturday you tune into a college game, you're going to see multiple idiotic fourth down calls. The Texas coach does them regularly. Dana Holgerson with an idiotic fourth down call after being screwed. I don't disagree. He got screwed over on a spot that left fourth and inches. I suspect this stupid call and ultimately the loss to Texas probably going to cost him his job, and it should. Now, he does what just about every other head coach in college football does. He needs, no joke, he needs fourth and a few inches. Got it? For a first down, they're driving with a chance to tie the game against Texas. And it's fourth and a few inches. Ball on, I think it was around the 10 or 12 of Texas. There's a minute 15 or so left. I think they might have had a time. I don't know if they had a timeout or not because, you know, coaches blow those too. And he decides, of course, not to have his quarterback under center, which is a foreign concept today in college football. You can understand the math, can't you? That it would just make sense if you need a first down and the ball needs to move maybe a yard or less. In this case, the ball needs to move a few inches. Is it a great idea to have your quarterback 3 to 5 yards deep? In other words, you have to go more than 5 yards to get a first down, but that's what they do because they don't know how to take a snap from center. It's unbelievable. They don't have short yardage plays. They don't exist in college football. It's amazing. So sure enough, fourth and inches against Texas with a chance to save your job, pull off an upset. They snap that thing back to the quarterback, who's several yards back, and they decide to do the high percentage play of roll out and throw it. It's incomplete. Texas survives. And I think Texas still survives on that outlier position to get to the Final Four. 1, someone's going to lose. That someone might be Oklahoma. 2, their name is Texas. The takeaway from this game will be that Texas won by 7 points. This is why, if you paid close attention to the game, which most of America did not, they had better things to do. But if you paid close attention to the game, you're rare because most people, particularly in the media business, all they know is that Texas won by 7 points on the road when their quarterback got hurt. That's good enough. It's misleading, but it's good enough. No damage was done to the Texas Final Four chances. Nothing really changed. As misleading as the game may have been, all anyone else knows is they won by 7. Now, a few realities with Texas that we didn't really know until the last few weeks. The Texas offense is solid. The Texas run game is really, really good. There are not many run games, if anyone even tries to do that stuff anymore. There are not many run games. Many teams that can run the ball better than Texas in the entire country. The Texas secondary is a problem. It's not very good. It showed its ugly face again. The back end of the Texas defense has been exposed, and the only question is, will it be exposed enough to cost them a game? Almost happened. Almost happened on Saturday. So will it be bad enough to cost them a game? I doubt it, because there's just not many teams that can throw the ball very well left. Steve Sarkisian, of course, because he's like every other coach in college football, he loves to run trick plays. He loves to go for it on 4th down, and their trick plays are usually pretty dumb. He wasted one on Saturday. When you have to run, when you're playing Houston and you're a team that thinks you're going to be a Final Four team, you really, really should not be running fake kicks. It's just not the time and the place, and you shouldn't need them. You really only do that stuff when you need a jump start. You only do that stuff when you need to save yourself, or maybe the game's getting away from you, or maybe you don't even belong in the game. But he ran a fake field goal against Houston. That's silly. And no, it didn't work. You use a fake field goal to beat Houston is kind of embarrassing. It sends a bad message to your team. It just is like waving the white flag. Either way, Texas survives. It doesn't dent, in my opinion, it doesn't dent their Final Four chances. They're still in the same spot, and increasingly it looks like a decent spot to be. Then we find out they lose their quarterback, Quinn Ewers, and how long, nobody really knows yet. Here's the thing. Texas can run the ball well enough, and Malik Murphy is good enough. So if Texas were to lose, that's not why. It won't be because of their quarterback, whether it's Quinn Ewers or not. It won't be because of their offense. If they lose down the stretch, it's because of their secondary, and their secondary has become a liability, and their coach makes the same. He makes the game far too complicated. That's how they'll lose. It won't be about the offense. It won't be about the quarterback. Overreaction. The Detroit Lions are the second best team in the NFC. Some people say the best team in the NFC. A lot of people said one of the 2 best teams in the NFC as of about 11 a.m. on Sunday. Reality. The Baltimore Ravens had the Lions down 28-0 at the half. Game over. Game over. Sure enough, it ended up, 38-6? Yeah. Are the Lions good? Yes. Better than San Francisco or Philadelphia? No way. No way. The most important question, I think, right now going forward, the most important questions from this game with Detroit getting just blown away by Baltimore. Number one, is Baltimore the second best team in the AFC? Yes. Maybe you could even say, is Baltimore the best team in the AFC? And I might say, yeah, maybe. Either way, they're among the best too. That seems to be pretty clear. That's point number one. Point number two, Dallas face painters. Point number two is, can Dallas catch Detroit and beat them late in the year? Maybe. As of 11 a.m. on Sunday, nobody would have said that, but are you sure that's not a possibility? I give Dallas a chance there. Overreaction. The Buffalo Bills are the team to beat in the AFC. Reality. No. No. And here's why no. The Bills have now lost to Zach Wilson of the Jets and Mac Jones of the Patriots. That would be, by any measurement, 2 of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Some would argue Mac Jones is the worst quarterback in the NFL. At times, people say he's the worst in the last decade. He's a joke. Not only that, the Buffalo Bills, the crazy Buffalo Bills, you can't figure out, they've now lost to both of those dudes in their own division. It's bizarre. They're bizarre. Figuring them out is bizarre. They're not the best team in the AFC. They're not the second best team in the AFC. And it's debatable if they're the fourth best team in the AFC. The order goes Baltimore, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Miami, Buffalo, I think. Yeah. It seems pretty consistent. Overreaction. Taylor Swift is bad for Travis Kelce's career. Reality. My whole weekend was Taylor Swift. That's all I've heard all weekend. My daughter went to see the Taylor Swift concert show. And not only does that mean that I guess to prep for the show, there has to be nonstop Taylor Swift music. There was. Not only that, I thought it was creative. She had painted her jeans in Taylor Swift albums, which was actually pretty well done. So it is nonstop Taylor Swift all the time. The jeans were cute. It's cute when my daughter does it. By the time the game rolls around on Sunday, it's not cute anymore. I've lost it. It's nonstop Taylor Swift shots during the Chiefs' beatdown of the Chargers. And I don't know if I can hear the name anymore. It won't stop. I can't stand to see another Taylor Swift, Brittany Mahomes chest bump. That's it. For all the people that were going get off my lawn and aggravated by it before, I'm with you now. Okay, that's enough, man. Every first down, every pass, anytime the ball goes near Travis Kelce, and it goes near him a lot, which is a good thing. There we get to see her, and now we get to see Brittany Mahomes, and it is just, you're just going to have to split the screens. That's all it's going to come down to. Just split the screens. Or give us the non-Taylor Swift broadcast version of a Chiefs game, please, at this point. There has to be options. But I know this. She's not distracting Travis Kelce. I mean, the guy, for all the commercials, and he's every third commercial, for all the stories, for all the bad clothes. I mean, the guy is a horrible dresser. For all the stuff about the guy with all that he has going on, he is now, I guess, dating or merging with, or whatever we're going to call this thing, the most popular person on the planet. I know this. It doesn't stop him. In fact, he keeps getting better. The Chargers may have had the worst defensive game plan in the history of the NFL in the first half. And that was this. Play a soft zone against Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. That's the dumbest idea anyone could have. You're going to get torched, and they did. Travis Kelce gets to release off the line incredibly easy. I don't know who came up with that idea, but it's a really bad one. I don't know, by the 11th or 12th catch, you may have figured out, you think we ought to try to jam the guy? You think we ought to put a hand on him? Are you sure we want to let that guy run it around all day? And they did. They did. And he had one of the most remarkable halves that you're going to see. He had, on the day, Mr. Taylor Swift had 12 catches for 180 yards and a touchdown. And that's just because they stopped throwing to him a little bit. He could have had 20 catches for 300 yards. He made the Chargers look ridiculous. Yes, he dresses like a fool. Yes, he is in every ad, but the guy was unstoppable. At 34, and Mr. Taylor Swift, he just gets better and better and better. First ballot Hall of Famer, blah, 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 all that stuff. The guy's just ridiculous, and the game plan against him was even more ridiculous. Now, he was unstoppable. His quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, may have had the best half of any quarterback I've ever seen. Now, granted, it's the Chargers made it much easier, but I'm not kidding when I say it was the best first half of any guy throwing the ball that I've ever seen. He went 20 of 23 for 321 yards and 3 touchdowns. And here's the best part. The 3 incompletions he had, 2 of them were drops. I'm telling you, the guy hit his players 22 out of 23 attempts in the first half. He hit them right in the hands and right on stride. Every pass, except for one, and it wasn't that far off. Every pass he threw was perfect. It was unreal. 2 were drops. I've never seen a better half by a player. I'm not even sure I've ever seen a better game by a tight end than Travis Kelce, except the fact that it's overshadowed by the fact that his quarterback had arguably the best, I'm not even sure it's arguable, the best half of a quarterback you'll ever see. Because the Chargers and their stupid coach, who now is trying to make himself look like Sasquatch, their stupid coach decided to back off. You have only one chance against Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce for that matter. You have to get to him before he releases the ball. You're going to have to get to him and disrupt him. You sit back there and let him look around. Guess what he's going to do, you fools? Oh, I don't know. He's going to go 20 of 23 for 321 yards and 3 touchdowns and a half. So forget the idea of Travis Kelce's life is upside down and his love interest is bad as his clothes. His clothes are just shockingly bad. But nothing is distracting him. He's as good as he's ever been.